Hello everybody and welcome to WarCrafters for July 20th, 2025. It is Season 2, Episode 29. I am MayorWatt. I run ohmTown.com. You might hear a 3D printer printing in the background. Just ignore it. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 articles: the Factory Game Festival, ARK Aquatica, Agent of Strange, Guild Wars 2 expansion, and ghost hunting. So I was not planning on doing the show on the actual weekend, but things changed. So mayoral duties barged in, and so I'm doing it live right now. The show notes are posted over on YouTube right now. You can go over and check it out there. They are not in ohmTown. In fact, I don't think ohmTown is even awake right now. Let's see what happens. So let's get into it. This is WarCrafters, boom, over there at ohmTown.com. It's one of 50 channels that aggregate information from around the world into these 50 channels in 6 main categories. Go over and check it out. Sign up, sign in. The first article is over in WarCrafters. This author says it's the most played game of the last 5 years. It's 30% off on Steam right now, alongside a ton of other factory games that are absolutely will devour your life. True. Let me see here. I believe it's going to go until tomorrow, July 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific. So that's the Steam Automation Fest. And then I don't know what's going to happen after that. But go over and download whatever you can. I mean, this says the winner of the PC Gamers 2024 Best Sandbox Award, Satisfactory, is currently 30% off as part. I've had it for a while, so 30% off doesn't really impact me, which is kind of a bummer, right? And I hardly ever get to play. That's kind of the rough part about all of this. I'm one of the many people who have purchased a lot of games and they're sitting idle because the best laid plans kind of get tossed. So they say that they give Satisfactory their highest recommendation. As they wrote it in their award celebration last year, it has the same endlessness as Minecraft, only trading the RPG-esque mechanics for the compulsive satisfaction of arranging conveyor belts at perfect 90-degree angles and building realistic supporting struts for factories. So is it still over there for, is it still off? Hold on, Satisfactory. Yeah, it's $27.99. And yeah, it still is 30% off. So $27.99, at least in the US. I think there's differences depending on where you are in the price. And you know what? Let me check to see if I do have, the show notes in ohmTown. 1 second. No, I do not. All right. Well, that's okay. So yeah, go over Wes Fenlon over at PCGamer.com. Put this article together. This is pretty cool. I actually really like Satisfactory, but I don't know what my attention span just doesn't work this way. So I don't sit there and play this game forever, even hours. Like, I can't play the same game for 2 hours. Doing shows like this, I can, because it's very, very dynamic. It changes all the time. But no, I can't just play a game anymore. I don't know what's going on. If anybody could tell me, let me know. So essentially what you're doing is building a giant factory for a corporation, and I don't know if I've ever played the game I've never played this game to the end. So I don't know if there's even an end. But they talk about that they also want you to know that what you're getting into, because if you're like them, playing Satisfactory could be signing up for a multi-year obsession with building more efficient assembly lines, cooler megastructures, and increasingly impractical but entertaining ways to thread train tracks across a giant open world. Let's keep going. The next article is over in WarCrafters. ARK Aquatica launches. And this launched back on the 15th. Last week they learned that ARK Aquatica, the new expansion for ARK Survival Evolved, finally received a firm release date, July 15th. And that was then. This is now. It's a weekly show, so we're talking about it in the future past, I guess. And to celebrate the launch, Snail Games has dropped an all-new official trailer, this time showing off what to expect from the game. Snail Games announced its in-house developed new expansion map, ARK Aquatica, at GDC in March. The studio described this expansion as a non-canonical side story in ARK, an ambitious underwater setting featuring 95% of the gameplay taking place beneath the surface. So Vicky Blake over at IGN.com put the article together. They say, now, however, a brand new launch trailer is available to tempt you into picking up the expansion today. ARK Aquatica introduces the first submerged ARK with above-water islands, challenging players with new survival mechanics, extreme environmental hazards, a huge explorable map area, and unique gameplay elements. The underwater biome adds 21 new tameable creatures, 74 new engrams, including 7 tech engrams, and underwater survival thanks to features like air pockets and propulsion vehicles. So it's kind of like Grounded, but with dinosaurs. Expect new characters and narrative connecting multiple arcs. Let's see. They say that it's exclusively on PC via Steam, and for the first 2 weeks of the release, players can pick it up for $8.99. That's 40% off the retail price. The recommended retail price. Give me a break. Who's recommending it? I've never understood that. The recommended. Whatever. Anyway, the new ARK New Depths bundle, which features both ARK Survival Evolved and ARK Aquatica expansion map, is also on sale at a 20% discount. Woo woo. All right, the next article is over in WarCrafters. That's the name of the show. Oh my god. Oh my god. Agent of Strange is a uniquely bizarre new narrative sandbox thriller for PC. Sever Studios, developer of The Life and Suffering of Sir Brant, has announced Agent of Strange, a new narrative sandbox thriller with a distinct art style that's set in the early 20th century city that's sealed off from the rest of the world, thus subjecting you and the rest of the populace to forbidden rituals, bizarre laws, and a reshaped reality. Done. 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 You know what? There is a whole... What? Hold on. I need to do something here. Right there. Gotta square that up a little bit. All right. Well, anyway, let's see. This bizarre occult city is ruled by the Traum family, Traum, Traum family, probably putting trauma on you, whom you'll need to go undercover with and infiltrate after these overconfident aristocrats, I guess, are fool enough to assume something. But the article is over at IGN.com. Ryan McCaffrey put the article together. And it says here, let's see, those overconfident aristocrats were foolish enough to open the forbidden red door, after which they weren't the same when they returned. Sever says you can play as a spy, saboteur, charlatan, revolutionary, loyalist, or something far darker. No path is fixed. No mask is permanent. Oh my. Anyway, you should wish list it on Steam if you're into that kind of stuff. In sum, Sever says that they aim for Agent of Strange to deliver a surreal, story-rich experience, blending deep player agency, systemic storytelling, or system. Yeah, what? I guess systemic? I don't know. I don't know why they would say that. And dark, immersive world building. That's a quote. Not all my stumbling about, but that's the quote. All right, the next article is over in WarCrafters as well. Guild Wars 2 sixth expansion is taking players to an island paradise this October with beachside player housing and a major addition to build crafting. A few weeks ago, ArenaNet started teasing the next Guild Wars 2 expansion with a daily drop of mysterious icons, and for the community, the implication was immediately obvious. New elite specializations are being added for each character class. This should be a pretty major shakeup to build crafting. Each of the game's 9 classes currently has 3 elite specs, each one changing the base class mechanic as well as adding new traits and skills. And as a result, the community has been eagerly speculating about who's getting what, and for this 4th round, attempting to match the teaser icons to the class. Dun dun dun. The article is by Phil Savage over at PCGamer.com. The Mesmer is a bard now. The Ranger is making friends with birds. I have no idea what that means. I don't think I've ever played Guild Wars 2. But I love survival crafting base building games. Might have to look into this. As a result, the community has been eagerly speculating about what's getting what and where. I'm sure that time has gone up. Wait, this was released, or this article was posted on July 15th as well. The full list of new elite specs should arrive soon, with a beta running on August 20th. That will let players get their hands on the new equipment. The author is particularly interested to see what combat styles each spec will bring. So a new beachside homestead plot, a reworked skimmer mount with new abilities, and a new legendary weapon. And yes, they finally did it. Legendary aqua breather. Oh my. Oh, look. That's a 3D printer respooler wheel there. It kind of snuck up on me. I don't know what's going on there. I didn't put it there. So as usual, the launch of Visions of Eternity is just for the first part of the expansion, launching with 2 new maps, the rest of the expansion rolling out in quarterly updates. This time ArenaNet says it's taken on board player feedback around the last expansion, which launched strong, but suffered a significant dip in quality for its last 2 updates. Yeah, pick up your... Stop killing games. The next article is over on the mobile channel. Ghost Haunting is an adorably spooky point-and-click adventure that looks just like the classics. The author says, if you know me, and most people probably don't know you. But anyway, you're over at Vice, we know that. You know how much of they love a good point-and-click adventure. They've written about them plenty of times and even reviewed them a few times. They say here at Waypoint. But this is sourced from Vice, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But that's okay. That's why the upcoming Ghost Haunting, a modern take on the traditional adventure formula, is right up their alley. The author is Matt Vatanka. Yeah, Vatanka. They're over at Vice.com. I don't know if this was posted somewhere else prior to this, but let's see. Ghost Haunting is the Three-Headed Monkey Studios' official debut, a group of self-proclaimed 90s kids inspired by the nostalgic adventures they grew up on. In fact, they'd wager their studio name Three-Headed Monkey is a direct reference to The Secret of Monkey Island. Sure. Which makes sense. The Ghost Hauntings trailer gives them the immediate vibes of Ron Gilbert's point-and-click masterpiece. Yeah, this is straight out of the late 80s, early 90s gaming. During a supposedly relaxing vacation, Gigi stumbles upon the family secret. Her grumpy grandpa, Giovanni, is a legendary ghost hunter. Oh, so I wasn't wrong about Ghost Haunting. It was Ghost Hunter, because he's a ghost hunter. Anyway, the revolution quickly spirals into a plan to bring back her late grandma from the realm of the dead. How hard can that be? Spoiler, very hard and potentially world-ending. So they say it promises a slew of modernized features, classic point-and-click gameplay with a modern twist, built-in hint system, hotspot highlighting, and fast travel, a not getting stuck guarantee, wholesome chaos meets heartfelt storytelling, 0 jump scares probably, and a brand new IP with serious sequel energy. Hey, that looks like one of the board games for a board game that I'm going to be launching soon. It's been idling for almost a decade. I was going to Kickstarter it. I guess I still can. But I'm waiting for a piece of equipment, and if you are interested in this, keep in touch. Come and hang out. Ask questions if you're interested. But it's a new take on an old style of game that nobody has beat yet, as a matter of fact. I mean, but I'll leave it at that. I'll tease y'all. But that's it. So look at that. We're going to point and click our way back to the front page of WarCrafters over at ohmTown.com. Go over there, hang out. There's a podcast, there's a Discord, there's a Patreon, but you'll only be able to support us. There's no extra stuff just yet. I would love to be able to dedicate more and more time to ohmTown. But my summer of stream was kind of yeeted away in different directions because of mayoral duties. And I hope that over the next few months that I'll be able to solidify more launches. I really want to launch Constructagon and talk about 5 articles and items and places and things and stuff like that related to 3D printing. I've got several 3D printers, but I fell out of sync with it a while back, and I want to get back into it. So that's kind of how ohmTown works. It is called Constructagon. Right there is the channel. It's under Creative and Maker, and there's 6 other categories and then 50 channels within them. Anyway, go over to ohmTown.com and check it out. So I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.